Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining the Star Maker Bowling Show. My name's Bob Hazelwood. Tonight we have no Star Maker Bowling. Kenny is sick and has been sick since Sunday. Got a bit of an infection, and so he is not going to be joining us tonight. I don't know whether Jason's going to be joining us tonight or not. So, for those of you who are joining us, which right now is not a lot of folks, we're going to do a quick show, do a WrestleMania predictions. I've got Kenny's predictions. Um, we'll do that. And as always, we are open for your donations. Kenny's sick. We haven't done a show, but the needs for the folks uh, has still been coming in. We've had several folks that we've helped here over the last few days without, again, having benefit of a show. We sent some money to who did we send that money to? Yeah, I don't know who those people are. I know we sent some money to Jelly Bean. We sent some money to a couple other families. Not a bunch, but a little bit. And I know we're still working on trying to get that house fixed for Eunice's neighbors. I think the kid's name was Yin Yang or something like that. Again, I don't remember the kid's name, so don't crucify me for that. Also, I know that I'm going to share some pictures here because I got some pictures from Vanessa RV, who is the little boy next door family we've been helping a lot. He has graduated from whatever grade he's in, and he got several awards. And I'm going to save these pictures here real quick, and I'll upload them in just 1 second. Let me get this real quick so you can see some of the benefits that we've been getting from helping these kids out, and a lot more that I don't have pictures for, just because I have not been. Well, again, Kenny's been sick, so he hasn't been as active as he normally is when it comes to dealing with our Filipino friends and families. And so this is RV. He's the young boy. He got several awards for characteristics and achievements. And let's see here. I'm going to look at these pictures. That's the house that we're trying to help out the family from lives next door to Eunice. Um, just again, the kind of squalor that they live in. And this is their everyday life, man. We're trying to get some folks, trying to get a little bit of achievement or a little bit of help, excuse me, for these folks, not to make their lives like so super fabulous, but just to improve them a little bit. Here's RV with his award and his certificate of graduation and stuff. I think they graduate. They have a graduation for like every grade there. It's crazy stuff. Uh, Thank you, Sean, for your comments. We're going to do a quick show because we do want to get something out there. If you guys want to donate, the ways to donate are all on the right side of your screen. I don't have access to those accounts, so if you do donate tonight, I won't see it, but Kenny will see it, and we'll talk about it on our next show. But I did want to go ahead and do WrestleMania predictions. We're going to start with the Saturday show, and like I said, I did get the stuff from Kenny, and I'll give you his and mine. If Coltrane shows up, we'll do his too or catch up. So first off is the War Raiders versus the New Day. This is for the Raw World Tag Team Championship. Kenny thinks the New Day is going to take that, and I kind of think so too. Their heel run has been strong. Their um, the changes, since they did the heel turn, they've had great success, and I think it just builds on that success to give them the title. Plus, I don't see what much people see in the War Raiders. No offense, they're both, I assume, really nice guys, and they can do some pretty incredible things in the ring. especially for men as big as they are. But I just see the New Day taking this and emerging from the show as a champion. Rey Mysterio will face El Grande Americano. Now, Kenny believes that Rey Mysterio will win this and unmask El Grande as Chad Gable. I'm of the opposite of opinion. I think El Grande Americano will win. Chad Gable will win this match in order to continue this storyline. He'll probably do something nefarious, he'll cheat or whatever, but it'll be a way to continue the storyline on for another couple of episodes or another, probably at least till the next PLE. You don't want to introduce this guy this fast and then suddenly turn around and unmask him already. It just doesn't make a lot of sense. Of course, this is the WWE, so making a lot of sense isn't necessarily something that they have to do in their shows. Next up is Jade Cargill versus Naomi. Kenny's comment is Jade better win this or just send her back to AEW. I think Jade needs to win this match because it is her first real singles match. And I mean, I don't know if she's had some or not. I can't recall if she's had anything other than squash matches. But this is her first real singles feud, and I see her needing to get off to a strong start. And I think Jade Cargill will win this. The U.S. Championship match is LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu. Kenny says Fatu is over as much as anybody in the company, but he thinks that LA Knight will find some way to win this. I'm going to disagree. I think they put the title on Jacob Fatu, and they use this as a way to continue splitting up the bloodline, which, they've been kind of teasing at how Fatu is not pleased at all with Solo, and Tama Tonga is just kind of standing there in the middle going, yee, and whatever, that terribly bad catchphrase type thing, whatever that's supposed to be, drop it. It's awful. All right, next we move on to the three main events of that Saturday night show. Gunther versus Jey Uso for the WWE World Heavyweight title. That's the Raw version of the world title. Kenny says Jey Uso will win. I will agree with him in this case. Jey Uso has been the most over guy in the company. I mean, there's no one even close to how over Jey Uso has been. And Gunther is a good champion. He's a good heel. I think he's a terrific traditional style heel. But I think the fans are going to get rewarded here tonight with a Jey Uso win. Next up is the SmackDown Women's Championship. Tiffany Stratton, our champion, defends against Charlotte Flair. Kenny says this is a good time for him to go take a bathroom break. He's not a big fan of either one, apparently. But he does says, and this is to quote, Tiffany Stratton is the pretty one. How's that for a womanizing aspect? Well, it's not womanizing, but it is misogynistic. I can say that word, just not when I'm trying to speak live on the air. It is misogynistic. So I think the crowd hates Charlotte, mostly because I think it's like the Roman Reigns situation a few years ago where she was being forced down our throats. And I think that they love Charlotte, and for some reason they're going to go with this. They're going to put the title on her. So I pick Charlotte. Kenny picks Tiffany. Roman Reigns versus CM Punk versus Seth Rollins. This is the triple threat. Paul Heyman is in CM Punk's corner because he made a promise. Roman Reigns is mad. Seth Rollins is trying to manipulate the situation. Kenny picks CM Punk, thinking that Heyman turns on Roman. I think Seth Rollins wins this because it frees up Seth to do a program with Jey Uso or with Gunther, if depending on which one of them wins that match, and then they can set CM Punk up against Roman, with Paul Heyman being torn in the middle and distraught and making all kinds of very sad and upset faces. So I will choose Seth Rollins as the winner of that. For the Sunday night show, we go to first of all, let me say hello here. Thank you, Sean, for your comments. Good morning, good evening, Mylene, and good morning, good evening, Jambi. Got some of our Filipino families watching here along. Sunday night show, we're going to have AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. I don't see any reason for Logan Paul to lose this match. Styles is, the only thing I can see coming out of this, maybe if for a Styles win, would be if the Karrion Kross backstory, starts to have some effect, and AJ evilness reveals itself again. He's done some heel runs in the past, so if they want to play that out, that AJ goes full evil with the backing or the support of Karrion Kross, then that would be the only way I could see Logan Paul not coming out of this with a victory. Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre in a Sin City street fight. I guess that means it's like an anything goes match. Kenny says, I don't care about this match at all, but I'm going to pick McIntyre because he's an OVW boy. It's a good reason as any, I suppose. I think this one I'm having a hard time picking because normally I would say Damian Priest should come out of this with the victory. But the way they've been building McIntyre up over the last, year, 6 months to a year, where he's got just enough victories and just enough losses in a way that basically he's getting cheated out of his wins, at least in his point of view. From his point of view, he's getting cheated out of his wins. There's a good argument to be made for a McIntyre victory here. However, I'm going to go with my gut feeling and say it's Damian Priest. So I pick Priest. Kenny picks Drew McIntyre. Our next match is a championship match. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus Bayley and Lila Valkyria. This is for the women's tag team championship. Kenny picks Bayley and Valkyria. I think Morgan and Rodriguez are going to retain because of a split between Bayley and Valkyria. Plus, Valkyria's got the women's intercontinental title, and I don't see them doing the two belts thing again, at least not currently. They did that with Becky Lynch, but I don't see them doing it again with Valkyria. She's a great wrestler, but they've been teasing this Bayley turn for a little while, and I think it pays off at WrestleMania, or it pays off at the Raw after WrestleMania after they lose this match, and Bayley blames Valkyria. The next match is the four-way title Intercontinental Championship at stake. Braun Breaker, our champion, goes against Penta versus Finn Balor versus Dominic Mysterio. Big storyline here is the continuing split of the Judgment Day. Obviously, Balor and Dom are going to get into it at some point where one of them goes for the win, the other one pulls them off or breaks up the pin. And that fragmenting of the Judgment Day, I think, if it doesn't finalize here, it's going to have all but the final stake driven in it. Kenny thinks that Penta getting a victory would be the way to go here. I think we leave it on Braun Breaker as a part of the Balor Dom breakup storyline. Next, we have Io Sky versus Bianca Belair versus Rhea Ripley for the Raw Women's title. This has been a story where Io Sky has kind of been an afterthought, at least in the minds of Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley. I see this as an opportunity to give Io Sky a super, super push by letting her beat both of those ladies and hopefully move on to a different feud. And then maybe Rhea and Bianca can have their fights in non-title fights to settle their feud. Kenny picks Rhea Ripley. I'm going to go with Io Sky. The final match that's been announced is Cody Rhodes versus John Cena for the WWE Undisputed title. Both Kenny and I agree, if you don't give John Cena the title here, it really makes no sense not to. There's ways around it, I suppose. You could have like The Rock coming in and doing something that costs Cena the title, and then he blames Cena or whatever. But heel Cena with a belt with The Rock behind him, to me, that's a gold storyline. It's gold storytelling, and getting the 17th championship. Where better else to do it than WrestleMania? I mean, if you want to put it back on Cody, you could do it at SummerSlam or give him Money in the Bank or something. But I actually see John Cena going over here. The final match that I'm going to go on, there's a rumor that Randy Orton will be getting some kind of match for WrestleMania. The two opponents I have seen, I'm going through puberty again, apparently. The two opponents that I've seen mentioned are Solo Sikoa, which would make sense from a standpoint. They've been kind of setting that up feud-wise the last couple of weeks on SmackDown. Or the other rumor is Nick Aldis, having taken the RKO from Randy. If he gets something happens so we get tomorrow night, then Nick says, look, you know what? I'll just beat your ass myself. And Randy Orton takes on Nick Aldis, which would get. I've heard some rumors or read some rumors somewhere that they may try to put Big E in as a authority management figure. So this would be a way to do that. Make Big E the SmackDown manager while Nick Aldis becomes an active wrestler again. I don't know how much Nick Aldis wants to be an active wrestler. For those of you who don't know his background, he is a former NWA world champion in the Billy Corgan owned NWA years. So he's got a little bit of cred from that perspective. Either way, I see Randy coming out victorious, getting a feel-good moment at WrestleMania. And Kenny is saying the same thing, Randy Orton. So we're going to recap here real quick. War Raiders versus New Day. Both of us picked New Day. Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano. We split. I take Chad Gable. Kenny took Rey Mysterio. Jade Cargill versus Naomi. Both of us took Jade Cargill. LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu. I've got Fatu winning. Kenny has LA Knight winning. Gunther versus Jey Uso. Both of us picked Jey Uso to come out as the new champion. Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair. I have Charlotte winning, and Kenny has Tiffany Stratton winning. The triple threat, Roman Reigns, CM Punk, Seth Rollins. I picked Seth Rollins. Kenny picked CM Punk. Sunday match is AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. Both of us picked Logan Paul. On Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre, the Sin City Street Fight, I've got Priest coming out. Kenny has McIntyre coming out. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. For the Women's Tag Team Championship, I've got Morgan and Rodriguez retaining. Kenny has Bayley and Valkyria winning that. Braun Breaker in the Fatal 4-Way, Penta, Balor, Dom. I've got Breaker winning. Kenny has Penta winning. Either way, I think we're seeing a Judgment Day explosion. Io Sky versus Bianca Belair versus Rhea Ripley in a triple threat match. Io Sky retains, in my opinion, and Kenny has Rhea Ripley winning that. For the Cody Rhodes versus John Cena main event, both of us picked John Cena. And whoever Randy Orton faces, if anyone, we both have picked Randy Orton. So that's our WrestleMania picks. That's our predictions. Good morning, Cheska. Again, Kenny is sick, so he's not going to be here tonight. Hopefully he will be getting better enough either to do something on this weekend. Probably not. My guess is it'll be maybe Tuesday before we see him again. But we'll keep you guys informed as we can. Also, a little housekeeping and announcement that Kenny and I have talked about this. And I let him know I'm not going to be doing the Tuesday shows anymore. It's not because Kenny and I have had a fight, not because of any problem between us, but I've got, as you can kind of see in the background, all those board games that are out there. I do a board game group that meets on every Tuesday, and I've been taking like one Tuesday off a month to meet with those guys. But it's just something I like doing. It's a social activity for me that I don't get a lot of social interaction outside of work. So I'll be doing my board game nights on Tuesdays. Coltrane will be joining Kenny as often as he can. And Kenny, if not, can always fly solo. He's done that for years. So I won't be doing the Tuesday shows, but I will be doing the Thursday night shows uh, as long as Kenny will have me on here and as long as I can stand being on here with Kenny. It's a joke, folks. All right. If you want to donate, again, I can't see the donations tonight. So if anybody is going to donate, please do so. This is my camera's reversed, so I point to the wrong side. This is how you can donate. Go to Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, 2 PayPals. Got another PayPal coming that will be tied into the charity itself. All your donations are tax deductible. We have our 501c3. You'll just keep those receipts, and then at the end of the year, add those up, take your deduction, take money away from the government. They don't need it. They've got plenty. They just spend more than they have, whether it's never enough. Okay, that's my wrap up. Again, I don't know what we'll be doing on the weekend. Probably nothing. Kenny should be back on Tuesday, and I will be back for sure with the show next Thursday, as long as Kenny recovers from his infection. I know that Kenny's not a praying guy, but it never hurts. Good thoughts, prayers, healing vibrations, whatever it is you believe in. If you believe in anything, send him his way. He could use. He's hurting pretty bad. His leg's hurting pretty bad too. So, all right, that's it. We'll sign off. I'll see you guys when I see you again. Make sure that you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the reminder bell to get your notifications. When you get your notifications, make sure that you set them up to notify you for all the shows. The default notifications are for personalized, which means YouTube decides when you get a notification. If you change that to all, you will see notifications for every time we do a show. So again, it helps the show. If you like it, hit the like button. Even if you hate me and you can't stand me doing this by myself, then hit the like button because it's good for the algorithms. Subscribe, share it with your friends, share it with your enemies, share it with people that you don't know and want to become friends or enemies. We don't care, just share it. And with that, I'm going to sign off. We'll see you guys